Page 1976, SWAT Team, Spiritual Warfare and Tactics. Seek God's direction. Intercede for coworkers. Isolate negative influence. Identify your role for God's approach. Wait on God. Share issues. Seek God's perspective. Pray through workplace. Follow up on new needs. Anchor Ministries, ongoing small groups. Intimacy with God through prayer ministries at King of Kings. Helping people transform cities by transforming lives. Picture of a lighthouse. Need prayer at work? Paranoid, personality disorder. Page 161. Learned not to cry, not to ask for help, not to trust anyone. Avoid intimacy. Paranoids learned mistakes and hurts were seldom forgotten. Grudges were long-lasting. Aware of any inequalities in punishment or privileges. Page 1977. Conquering codependency groups. Mom's Place Ministries. Intimacy with God through prayer allows us to enter into a partnership with God, so His will can be done on earth as it is in heaven. Scriptures, Matthew 6:10. Children rewarded for competence in helping family while staying out of the way. Came to believe that being a good and lovable person was outside their reach. Constant fear that others will attack them, blame or hurt them, wishing. Angrily withdraw and tightly control themselves when not expecting to be affirmed. Biosocial formulation. Paranoid personality disorder conceived as severe form of character pathology, narcissistic, antisocial, compulsive. Narcissistic shaped by parentals over evaluation and indulgence. Lack of parental control can give rise to grandiose fantasies of success, power, beauty, or brilliance. Tend to be rejected, humiliated by peers. Desiring freedom. Page 1978. Picture of kids in the jungle of allergies for 2 years old. Diagnosis and treatment of the DSM-IV personality disorders. Malicious intent of others is core assumption of the disorder. Automatic beliefs with disorder, people can't be trusted and they're deceptive. Studies of personality disorders, hypersensitive to criticism. Receive early training to be frightened at what others think. Conform to parents' expectations. Conforming to parents interferes with acceptance by peers. Ostracized by peers because they lack interpersonal skills. Humiliated. Paranoids excessively engage in ruminating, thinking over about their isolation and mistreatment about others. Page 834. Paranoids act in ways to avoid negative evaluations from others. Attempts to act right leads them to be different, to which invites social criticism. Isolation broods, causes isolation about life, creates grandiose thinking, causes isolation, persecutory thinking. Vicious cycle that perpetuates the disorder. Interpersonal formulation, 1993, diagnosis of paranoids. Parents of paranoids were likely sadistic, controlling, degrading. Typically abused children themselves. Parents of paranoids believe children basically evil. Children require containment, deserve retribution, belief of paranoid abused parent. Sharing family secrets with others is not tolerated. Adult consequence of harsh upbringing, they expect attack and abuse. Children were harshly punished for dependency, attached when hurt or sick, never work out. Mind workout may fight Alzheimer's. Adults with hobbies that exercise their brains are 2.5 times less likely to get Alzheimer's. TV watching increases the risk. Brain is an organ. It strengthens with use. Page 1979. Picture of girls smiling. Picture of the Greyhound baggage tag. 30,000 men will die of prostate cancer September 16th, 98. It can spread without symptoms. Breast cancer breakthrough article 1999 advances Roliflexin for men postmenopausal. Stop yelling. Alzheimer's article. Effect of activities from 20 to 60 on Alzheimer's potential. 4 million Americans diagnosed with Alzheimer's, expected 14 million by 2050. Antisocial variant of paranoids exhibits high levels of activation, impulse, high energy, temperament. Sorry, I'll mix up on the pages. Page 1982. Page 1982. 2007 calendar. Debuts. The longer you wait to decide what to do, you're wasting time. Passion will make your actions when you want something badly. Actions, not words, will do the shouting for you. Simple truth. You become that which you think about most of the time. No one better, smarter, more talented. Successful people put their minds on what they have become. People are poor because they are not decided to be rich. People are overweight because they have not decided to be thin or fit. People are inefficient, time wasters. They haven't decided to be highly productive. Solution to marriage, parenting problems: spend more time with those people that you care about the most. Life only gets better when you do. You are a living magnet. Attract what is in harmony with your dominant thoughts. Page 1983. Notes. Picture of a buffalo. Life insurance prices drop to all-time lows. Brian Tracy, self-help author, born in Canada in 1944. Seminars on leadership, sales, management, effectiveness, and business strategy. Brian Tracy University offers learning programs. Page 1984. The abandonment trauma. Resentment against anyone depletes serotonin and norepinephrine in our brain cells. Depleted in brain cells caresses loss of energy and motivation. Causes loss of energy and motivation. Wow, my handwriting. Biochemical change will produce increased appetite and overeating. Repressed anger causes clinical basis for overeating. Page 23, step 4. Suffering produces self-loathing. Depression. You blame yourself for an illness you create or ask to have. Broken promises creates a lifetime of failures. If food doesn't defeat us, we teach others to. Teach others to humiliate and degrade you to recreate old depraved feelings. Don't make mistakes. They reveal flawed, vulnerable self. Don't acknowledge a mistake. It opens you up to scrutiny. Cover up your own mistakes. Shame someone else's. Unreliability in relationships is expected. Don't trust. Parents didn't get developmental dependency needs met without will not be there for the children to depend on. Distrust cycle goes on. Abandonment from physical desertion, stroke deprivation, narcissistic deprivation, fantasy bonding. Neglect of developmental dependency needs, family system enmeshment, all forms of abuse. The Drama of the Gifted Child book. Many good, kind, devoted parents abandon their children. Many highly gifted superachievers and successful people are driven by deep-seated depression. Abandonment in childhood carves shame. Page 41. Toxic shame is continuously transferred by the means of shaming rules. Shame-based families rules shame all the members of the family, but children receive the major brunt of the shame. Power is hierarchical. Dad can yell at anyone, mom everyone but dad. Youngsters, the youngest tortures the cat. Do things you want to do. Insist others ask for what they want. No guessing. The dysfunctional role, control. One must be in control of all interactions, feelings, personal. Personal behavior strategy at all times. Control is the major defense strategy for shame. Perfectionism, always be right in everything you do. Perfectionism, rule is always measured. Page 41, healing the shame. Shame-based families have several categories of rules. Rules about socializing, touching, sickness, vacations spending money. Parenting rules in shame-based families are most important rules. Abusive methods for suppressing children's vital spontaneity, beatings, lying, duplicity, manipulation, scare tactics, withdraw love, isolation, coercion to the point of torture. Toxic shaming treatment, a statue of a state of being not healthy. Incense. Nobody owes any public duty to pay more than the law demands. Taxes. Germanium, pre-2010, $27 for 60 capsules. Aloe juice, $8 a quart. Thursday, page 1985. Rules written on refrigerator doors, operational principles that govern shame-based families. Shame-based start when children at a young age. Child will not know how to expose adults' parents' absolute power, view of the world, eternal laws. Fear and evidence of the negative is organizing the principles of life. Blame is another defensive cover-up for shame. Blame maintains balance in a dysfunctional system when control is broken down. Denial of the 5 freedoms, power to perceive, think and interpret, to feel, want and choose, power to imagine. Shame-based families, the perfectionistic rule prohibits full expression of these 5 powers. Rule says you shouldn't desire or be the way you are. No talk rule prohibits the full expression of any feeling, need, or want. Hide your true feelings, needs, wants, loneliness, self-rupture, hot, spoken of, not spoken of. Scripture, Hebrews 9:19, 10, and 5. Without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins. 1,000 hours of free American online. Healthy shame transformed into toxic shame called internalization makes a person believe herself to be flawed and defective. Hatred carves out a hungry place in addicts' emotions. The joy of knowing you. Gift of abstinence. You will want to share. Growing into a new life, not self-centered. Striving for material satisfaction doesn't work. Happiness comes from seeking to know and follow God's will. We are not perfect. God's government. VNA. Page 1986, Developing the Leader Within You. John Maxwell. Key to Prosperity. Give freely. Melanoma causes 54,000 cancer cases a year. 76,000 deaths. 1/12 of 23, it says 97,610 new cases. 12/20 to 2016. 77,698 new cases. Men, 45,654, and women, 31,845. Melanoma. That's skin cancer. ShadeFoundation.org. 2023 dedicated to the prevention of skin cancer. Diabetes cases, 2,000 a day. 2023, 37 million Americans have diabetes. 1 in 10, 1 in 5 don't know they have diabetes. 1970, 28% of teens admitted to sexual relations. Now it's 51%. The ocean is 6 3/4 miles deep in one spot. Place influences in leadership positions. Leaders have 2 characteristics. They are going somewhere. They're able to persuade others to go with them. Wherever I sit is the head of the table. Check the change in your pocket. Emotional support. It takes change to make change. Good leaders solicit the support of influencers before change made public. Action items. Discussion about changes to be made. Time for acceptance. Encourage the influencers to influence others informally. Leadership leaks to prepare people for changes in meetings. Leaders carry buckets with water to pour out fires, gasoline to cause real problems. Key influencers are the greatest asset or the greatest liability. Leadership leaks should be planned positive. Show people how the change will be a benefit to them. Assumption, proposed change is what is best for people, not the leader. People must be first. Close the door for your own personal comfort. Get the door closed. Give people ownership of the change. Openness paves the way. Changing people's habits and ways of thinking, like writing instructions in snow during a snowstorm. Every 20 minutes, instructors need recruiting. How to offer ownership of the change to others. Inform in advance. Explain objective of the change. Reasons, how and when it will occur. Show how change will benefit. Ask for help. Communicate. Be flexible and adaptable throughout change process. Page 1987. Constantly demonstrate belief and commitment to change. Indicate confidence in staff to implement changes. 10 items a leader will solicit support for change. List influences. Who, how many will be affected directly or indirectly by the change? How many positive and negative groups, influences? Key to each influence. Develop a meeting agenda that will assist the change. New ideas go through 3 phases. Phase 1, it will not work. 2, it costs too much. 3, it's a good idea all along. Wise leaders understand people change through a process. Information item positive that boost morale. Study items that need discussing, not voted on. Page 1988. Pictures of Susan, Rick, Jamie. Cartoon. No ifs, ands, or buts. Scripture, Matthew 17:1. Bible's full of supernatural things, intricate parts of their lives. When we get the image of God, He reveals Himself. 1995 at a glance. God only knows the pain that doesn't show. Encore vacuum therapy ad. Friendly parties, toys and gifts. Cooking with grandma. Good listeners are attention and repetition. Effective listening requires concentration and effectiveness. Relatively organic sesquioxide germanium. Life insurance. Scriptures, Ephesians 5:28. Love you, wife, is a part of Himself. Scripture, Job 12:16. To Him belong strength and victory. Disarms the mighty. Scripture, Romans 11:30. Chance you rebels against God. Once you were rebels against God. Cooking with grandma. Page 1989. Last second victory. Book covers. Help, Lord, the devil wants me fat. Egyptian doctors, 1700 BC. Man lives off of 1/4 of what he eats. Doctors live off the other 3/4. We are dominated and controlled by what we value the most. Does your life have balance? Have you reached all of your goals in life? Got a plan? Johnny Erickson Tada picture. Picture of a boy, a bicycle. Juvenile camp out of budget fulfills wish. Reservation forms. Picture of a dream getaway. Picture of people in a room. Retreats outdone. Picture of shoes of peace. Go away, I don't live here anymore. Scripture, Amos 5:15. Hate evil and love good. Remodel your courts into true halls of justice. Back up. Scripture, Amos 5:15. Hate evil and love the good. Remodel your courts into true halls of justice. Plants, the ranger. Picture of a barn ad. Thinking of you. Movies 8 ad. Kids. Page 1990. Gold coins and deadline October 14th, 2005. 6 coins, $12.95. 2023, they're nickels. Lighthouse International. Prayer is coming to God in worship in the beginning, God. Godliness with contentment is great gain. 2005 Services for Homeless. Religion should encourage men to tolerate unacceptable impulses, sublimate them, modify them, discipline themselves to be generous, program, strengthen mature men. Picture of a map. Page 1991. Experts on call for ADHD questions. Spiritual beliefs' role in mental health is tough pledge. Fox and Fun sold here. Picture of swimmers. King outlined in court documents. Lindbergh's Legends image tarnished. Business helps love bloom. Cartoon Garfield slaps Odie. Picture of a diamond rings. Esprit Laser and Medical Aesthetics invite you to laser hair removal. Energy inherent in our passionate impulses can be diverted into socially useful channels. Sublimation, process spiritualizing factor. Energy from like libido's lustful, reassuring approach to a problem of evil. Reality of childish shame, a rage not exterminated by disavowed, being denied responsibility, locked up in our psyche. Unacceptable impulses disguise themselves, become our worst inner enemies, assaulting our nerves, our peace of mind, tormenting failure. Impulses make us depressed, inferior, delivery us from excess to excess, drives us from excess to excess, against our will. Wound, stripe of civilization, ulcer influenced by the traditional religion, people try to uproot a very vagrant desire, become self-torturing, masochists, fanatics. Safe Pool, page 1992. John Bradshaw, Healing the Shame That Binds You. Life scripts. People live tragic lives because they have no choice. They're actors playing a role. Thoreau described the mass of humanity live lives of quiet desperation. Scripts prescribe how we feel and behave. Tragic scripts end in suicide or killing someone or crazy. Tragic scripts, no mind, crazy, no love, no feel, addictions. Injunctions come from shame-based child in the parent. Injunctions take forms of a message like don't be successful or important, don't be you. Injunctions cause self-rupture. Attributions come from verbal emotional abuse. How can you be so dumb, stupid, hateful? Discounting one's feelings causes confusion. Attributes can come directly from mom, boy, as well as behaved daughter, or a hellion. Neurological brain disorders interfere with normal brain chemistry. Chart of revenues from top companies. picture of a monitor.